Now, some people have asked why we would remove the analog headphone jack from the iPhone. I mean, it's been with us a really long time.
In September 2016, Apple's Phil Schiller stood alone on a minimalist stage holding an iPhone 7, and with it, the feature of personal audio. He chose one word to explain a decision that would ripple across the entire industry.
Courage.
The audience applauded, the tech world laughed, and almost no one noticed the quiet warning hidden beneath the applause. Apple had just removed the 100-year-old analog headphone jack. The official explanation was neat and rehearsed. The jack was a dinosaur, taking up valuable internal space that could be better used for a larger Taptic engine, a slightly better battery, and improved water resistance. It sounded reasonable. It sounded inventable. But what Apple didn't say is that when a company removes something universal and free, it's rarely an act of bravery. It's an act of preparation. And they've been preparing for years.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Within days, teardown of the iPhone 7 told a different story. Where the headphone jack once lived, there wasn't a revolutionary technology or a breakthrough component, just a plastic acoustic spacer, a void, a reminder that the space argument was never the real one. Even the water-resistant claim crumbled under scrutiny. Companies like Sony had been producing waterproof phones with headphone jacks for years. The truth was simpler and far more profitable. By removing a universal standard, Apple created a vacuum, and Apple already knew exactly how to fill it. But Apple wasn't just betting on removing a port. They were betting on a fundamental shift in how we consume media, a shift that was already underway. In the early days of social media, we strolled through pictures, we read text posts, we listened to music, but mostly at home, on commutes, at the gym. Then everything changed. Instagram added stories, Snapchat exploded, YouTube became the second largest search engine, podcasts went from niche to mainstream, FaceTime turned into how families stayed connected, TikTok made a vertical video ambiguous. Suddenly, everything had audio. We weren't just listening to music anymore, we were watching videos with sound. We were on the Zoom calls, we were voice messaging, we were consuming content that demanded headphones, constantly, everywhere, all day long. The average person went from needing headphones for an hour a day to needing them for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. Apple saw this coming, and they positioned themselves at the center of it.
After party at Free's house with live music, and spoiler alert, party favors are Beats by Dre headphones.
We wind to 2014. 2 years before Shirley took the stage, Apple quietly spent $3 billion, their largest acquisition ever, to buy Beats Electronics. At the time, critics scoffed. Beats headphones were dismissed as overpriced and overly bass-heavy. Beats music was barely a footnote in the streaming wars. Wall Street scratched its head, but Apple wasn't buying sound quality, Apple was buying position. Beats owned cultural relevance, shelf space, athletes endorsement, fashion credibility, and most importantly, they dominated the premium wireless headphone market. The trap was already being set. By the time iPhone 7 launched, the piece had fallen perfectly into place. Apple introduced AirPods along with a refreshed lineup of Beats headphones, all powered by Apple's W1 chip. Pairing was instant, switching device felt magical, battery life was optimized, but only inside Apple's ecosystem. Third-party wired headphones suddenly required a dongle, an admission of obsolescence. Third-party wireless headphones worked, sure, but they felt clumsy without the magical instant pairing exclusive to Apple's silicon. The message was subtle but clear. Wires were now inconvenient. Dongles were embarrassing, and the future of audio required Apple's permission. The walled garden had been built brick by invisible brick. The gate was about to slam shut. And the world had become a place where headphones weren't just accessories anymore, they were necessities. Here's where the plan gets truly diabolical. Wired earpods were boring, and that was the problem. They last for years, they survived washing machines, they were virtually indestructible, and they came free in the box. AirPods changed the economics entirely. 2 tiny independent earbuds meant something inevitable. People would lose them, drop one down a subway grate, that's $89. Leave one in your gym bag through the wash, another $89. Individual replacement buds and charging case became a quite revenue stream, generating over $700 million annually. It's not a bug, it's the business model. AirPods rely on sealed lithium batteries that begin to chemically degrade the moment they're first charged. After 24 to 36 months, the battery life collapses mid-commute, mid-workout, mid-conversation. And because the batteries aren't realistically replaceable, the product becomes disposable. Expensive electronic corpse that can't be repaired, only replaced. What was once a one-time purchase became a cycle. Buy, replace, repeat. Apple didn't just sell headphones anymore, they sold recurring obsolescence.
Do you want to know what else it comes with? An audio jack. I'm just saying.
At first, competitors mocked Apple. Samsung ran ads showing the headphone jack with pride. Google took shots at the dongles. The industry painted Apple as arrogant, out of touch. The headphone jack became a punchline. But then the numbers came in. Apple's wearables, home, and accessories revenue exploded from $10 billion in 2015 to over $37 billion by 2024, nearly 4x increase in less than a decade. The joke stopped. The lesson was obvious. Remove the jack and you could cut manufacturing costs, eliminate free accessories, sell your own brand earbuds at high margins, shrink packaging and slash shipping costs, and last but not least, lock customers deeper into your ecosystem. By 2020, nearly every major smartphone manufacturer had followed Apple's lead. But there's another reason that shift was so complete, so irreversible. By the time the headphone jack disappeared from most phones, we already changed. Our media consumption had evolved beyond music only into audio everywhere world. We needed headphones for work calls, for watching stories, for video content, for staying connected. The jack wasn't just removed, it was forgotten, because we needed wireless freedom more than we needed a port. The courageous decision didn't just kill a port, it killed an open standard and replaced it with a fragmented workplace where every manufacturer could trap users in its own proprietary audio ecosystem. What started as one company's gambit has masterized into an industry-wide transformation.
We believe in a wireless future. A future where all of your devices intuitively connect.
Apple's removal of the headphone jack was never about space, and it certainly wasn't about courage. It was about math. Cold, deliberate math that transformed a free, century-old technology into a high-margin, proprietary, battery-limited product. One designed to be lost, to decay, and to be replaced. In doing so, Apple didn't just change the iPhone. They rewired the economics of listening itself, turning a basic utility into a multi-billion-dollar recurring goldmine. And it's all started with a hole. The courage wasn't in removing the jack, the courage was in betting that we'd keep paying for what we used to get for free.